just gonna go ahead and get started because I do this every Saturday at 12 o'clock and I post about it enough for everybody to know. So today we are gonna make Laap, which is a Southeast Asian kind of meat salad. I'm making the Laos version because that's the one that I learned how to do. I'm gonna add my little twist, of course, by adding sofrito, which is not traditional, but let's just get started. This should be really quick and we can go from there. So I'm gonna add first a little bit of my 50-50 oil. This is half canola, half olive oil, which is obviously not traditional. I'm gonna add some ground pork. Pan's nice and hot. So I just got this ground pork at the co-op. So it should be from, you know, a small meat purveyor. Let's see. I learned how to cook this dish when I was like 16. My mom kicked me out and I lived with my friend Lottie, whose family is Laos. At the time, there was a lot of Southeast Asian people in our neighborhood. I'm going to add some shallots, which is traditional. Oh, look at these shallots. I got these shallots and this garlic from a little farm stand nearby. So like I was saying, I lived with Lottie and her family when my mom kicked me out when I was 16. At the time, our neighborhood was really heavy Southeast Asian population, like Hmong, Mien, Laos, a lot of Cambodians. I'm gonna add a little more oil because the ground pork is really lean. It doesn't have a lot of fat in it. Hi, Teresa. And while all the ingredients are traditional, the method might be a little different. All the brands that I'm using, from like the fish sauce and everything, are all brands that I saw Lottie's mom make. So they're brands that I've been using since I started cooking this at 16. I'm going to add some garlic and some chili. So these are the Thai chilies that I got. Little hot motherfuckers. Can you see these? That I got from the same farm stand. That I got my garlic and my shallots from. I got all these from... There are all these little farm stands in my childhood community that just pop up in the neighborhood, and they have a lot of, you know, things that the people in the neighborhood use. So that's where I got these things. So you can't get really more local than like a mile down the road. Okay. So this is just the ground pork. I'm gonna add green beans because these take a while to get softened up. I don't know if green beans are traditional. I know that Pani, who is the cook in the family. So there are 3 Kamsalis that I still talk to. Lottie, who's the friend that I live with and her family. Her big sister Pani, and her big brother Bud. Pani likes to add her own spin on things. So a lot of this is things that I just picked up from her. So green beans, pork, shallots, garlic. We'll let this just cook out for a little bit. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of toasted rice. I put this in this little bon maman jar. Why isn't my camera focusing in? So this is this toasted rice here. Basically what toasted rice is just uncooked rice grains, kernels. You toast them, in a pan until they get brown, and then you blitz them in a blender, or you can a mortar and a pestle, which is obviously more traditional. So I'm going to add a little bit of that. You can buy it pre-toasted. I like mine really fine, which is kind of hard to do. Okay, so I'm going to add sofrito, which is obviously my little spin. It's not traditional. I'm going to add about a quarter cup of that. I just noticed that a lot of the herbs that are used in Southeast Asian cooking are used in Puerto Rican cooking. So this kind of seemed like a no-brainer to add sofrito into this Laap. I mean, I've heard it called so many things. I think it depends because Hmong people make it, Mien people make it, Thai people make it, but this is my version that I learned from my friend Lottie and her family, who are from Laos. I'm going to use a little fish sauce, well, a lot of fish sauce. I'm going to use a squid brand. This is the brand that I saw Lottie's mom use, so this is the brand that I've always used. I'm going to add a little sugar because I forgot to buy palm sugar. I'm going to use a little white sugar. Things are starting to get caramelized now, which is good. So now we've added our ground pork, shallots, garlic, chilies. I use Thai chilies, sofrito, green beans, sugar, fish sauce. And I'm going to put in a little bit of this. Does anybody know what this is? This is badak. So this is like fermented can of whoop-ass. Woo! That they have to put like 1,000. Oh, God. 1,000 different little barriers on it when you buy it. But badak is like what gives it that funky flavor that a lot of people maybe don't like, but I just gotta have it, man. And that's the brand I use because, again, that's the brand that Lottie's mom used. So I didn't add a lot of it. I added maybe like a tablespoon of fish sauce. I really like it punchy, so that's how I like to do it. I'm gonna add a little bit of water. I cook this all the time in the summer because it's so quick, but it mostly, a lot of the time is in the prep because there's a lot of vegetables, you know? I'm gonna give that a little taste. Let's see. Nom, 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 nom. I think I might use a little bit more badak. So the brand that I use is Saigon, but sometimes it's also listed as Super. As you can see right here. Fish sauce, anchovies, fermented, delicious, funky. I thought that this was going to be spicy with the one chili, but it's not. So I'm going to add another one. Do I dare? Yes. Okay. I'm going to add a little more sugar. I'm going to add some lime. kind of lift it up, brighten it up. The sugar makes it sweet, the lime makes it sour, the fish sauce and the bedak give it that kind of funky umami flavor. Give it a little tasty poo. You can eat this over rice, or you can do what I'm gonna do, or just put it in a lettuce leaf. Oh yeah, okay. I'm gonna turn the heat off. I'm gonna start chucking in herbs. So this is cilantro. Even though we have sofrito in there, which has the cilantro and the recao and the tomatoes and garlic, we're basically fortifying it with some freshness, right? So you can use those stems if you want. I do. I don't really care. I'm gonna throw some mint leaves in here. I'm gonna throw some in here while it's, you know, kind of at the end of its cooking, and then I'll probably throw some in once it's about to serve. All right. So this cilantro and mint gives it a little bit of wilting. Okay. Hey, get back over here. And that is literally it. That took us 13 minutes. So we started with oil and the ground pork. This is good ground pork from the co-op from one of the local meat purveyors. Green beans, shallots, garlic, 2 Thai chilies, which is still not really spicy. I might throw another one in there. Fish sauce. So there's a difference, right? This fish sauce is really light in comparison to the bedak. The bedak is kind of like, it's almost like blended anchovy fillets. So they put them in the blender and they blitz it and then they kind of just pour it into the bottle, right? So it's got way more packed. If you don't want to use it, you don't have to. I know a lot of people don't use it anymore, but I do because that's how I learned. So yeah, so you can serve, like I said before, you can serve this over rice if you want, which I do, or you can serve it in a lettuce leaf, which is what I'm going to do today. And that is it. Something really quick for summertime when you don't want to cook, you can easily make this with Beyond Meat combos or probably tofu. If you're vegan or vegetarian. Hi! And that is it. So if you guys have any questions, now is the time. This is super fast. I don't think anybody would be able to tell the sofrito is in here, but since some of the herbs are the same, it makes total sense to use sofrito in this dish, which becomes a kind of Laos Puerto Rican mashup, right? Totally Californian, if you ask me. So this will be on my feed, on the post. It'll be plated up with all the herbs and lettuce leaves and all of that stuff. The ingredients, where you can find these things, will all be in my feed right after this in about 30 minutes. Just